Chosen one, you may not know why you clicked on this video, but God does. He's been guiding you here, aligning everything so that today, in this moment, you would hear what He's been trying to tell you. Those thoughts swirling, that inner turmoil. He sees it, He knows, and He's about to bring the calm. By the time you finish watching, you will know exactly how to silence those inner battles and step into the peace and power that is already yours. But you must stay until the very end, because the final revelation is the key. The one thing most people miss when they're trying to break free from the mental storm. Take the first step right now. 1. Hit the like button to declare that you are ready to receive this peace. 2. Subscribe to stay connected to this divine guidance. 3. Comment 333 to affirm that you are stepping into clarity and strength today. And there's one more crucial step. Drop a comment below with one thing you need prayer for today, one mental battle you're ready to surrender. Then, reply to someone else's comment with words of encouragement, a prayer, a word of hope. This is more than just a video. It's a movement of faith. Miracles happen when we lift each other up. When you share your struggle, others will pray for you. When you pray for someone else, blessings flow back to you. Comment your prayer request now and be part of this chain of divine miracles. Most people think their mental battles are a sign of weakness, a sign that they're failing. They try to fight the thoughts, suppress the anxiety, push through the fear, and they end up exhausted, feeling even more lost. But what if I told you that those battles aren't a sign of weakness, but a sign of growth, a sign that you're on the verge of a breakthrough? The truth is, many stay stuck in the cycle of mental turmoil because they're trying to control the storm instead of surrendering to the one who calms the seas. They're relying on their own strength, their own willpower, when the real power comes from letting go. This is rooted in spiritual wisdom. You can find verses about God providing strength in the Bible. Think about the psychological truth of the inner critic, the voice that drives self-doubt, which is actually a spirit of doubt and lies. Imagine a small boat tossed about on a raging sea. The waves crash over the deck, the wind howls, and the sailor frantically tries to steer the vessel, gripping the wheel with white knuckles. He's exhausted, terrified, and making little progress. He's fighting against the elements, trying to impose his will on a force far greater than himself. This is the state of many who battle their inner storms. They believe that if they just try harder, think more positively, or exert more control, they can conquer the anxiety, the fear, the doubt. But the ocean doesn't respond to sheer willpower. It responds to understanding, to respecting its power, and to working with its currents, not against them. It's like trying to hold back a flood with your bare hands. You might be strong, you might be determined, but eventually the force of the water will overwhelm you. The key is not to fight the flood, but to find a way to channel it, to redirect it, to work with its power instead of against it. This requires a shift in perspective, a willingness to let go of control, and a trust in something larger than ourselves. The same is true of our inner world. The mental battles we face are often signals, not enemies. They're like the warning lights on a car's dashboard, indicating that something needs attention, that something is out of alignment. Consider the feeling of anxiety. Often it arises when we're facing uncertainty, when we're stepping outside our comfort zone, or when we're resisting change. Instead of seeing anxiety as a sign of weakness, what if we saw it as a sign that we're stretching ourselves, that we're growing? Imagine a plant growing towards the sunlight. It has to push through the soil, overcome obstacles, and adapt to changing conditions. This process can be challenging, even painful, but it's necessary for the plant to reach its full potential. Similarly, our anxieties can be indicators that we are pushing ourselves beyond our current limitations, that we are evolving and expanding. What if we used it as a signal to pause, to breathe, to connect with our inner guidance and ask, what am I afraid of? What am I resisting? What is this feeling trying to tell me? The same applies to feelings of unworthiness, self-doubt, or inadequacy. These often stem from deep-seated beliefs, often formed in childhood, that are no longer serving us. They are like old, outdated software programs running in the background of our minds, causing glitches and errors. We don't need to fight these programs. We need to update them. We need to replace them with the truth of who we are, beloved children of God, created with purpose and potential. Think of it like this. You have a beautiful, powerful computer, but it's running on an old operating system that's full of bugs and viruses. The computer might be capable of amazing things, but it's constantly crashing, freezing, and running slowly. You wouldn't try to fix the problem by banging on the keyboard or yelling at the screen. You would update the operating system, install new software, and clean out the viruses. Similarly, we need to update our internal operating system, our belief systems, and clear out the negative programming that's holding us back. The biggest misconception is the idea that we can think our way out of these struggles. Positive thinking is a powerful tool, but it's not a magic wand. It's like trying to patch a leaky roof with duct tape. It might hold for a while, but the underlying problem remains. True transformation comes from going deeper, from addressing the root cause of the leak, from rebuilding the roof with strong, resilient materials. This requires a willingness to surrender, to let go of our need to control, and to trust in a higher power to guide us. It's not about giving up. It's about giving over. It's about acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, that we can't do it alone, and that we need divine assistance. This is not weakness. It's the ultimate act of courage and faith. It's saying, I trust that there is a plan for me, even when I can't see it. I trust that I am being guided, even when I feel lost. I trust that I am loved, even when I feel unworthy. Today, we break that cycle. Here are 5 steps to silence the inner storm and step into the clarity, confidence, and strength that God has already provided. Everything begins with awareness. What are the specific thoughts that fuel your anxiety, your fear, your self-doubt? Are they thoughts of unworthiness, of failure, of not being enough? Write them down. Recognize them for what they are: lies. They are not your truth. God's truth is that you are loved, you are strong, you are capable. This step is like shining a light into the dark corners of our minds. We often allow these negative thoughts to run unchecked, like a broken record playing in the background. We become so accustomed to them that we don't even notice them anymore. They become the soundtrack of our lives, shaping our perceptions and influencing our decisions. The first step is to become a mindful observer of our own thoughts. This requires slowing down, taking a deep breath, and paying attention to the internal chatter. Don't judge the thoughts, simply observe them. Notice the patterns, the recurring themes. What are the common phrases that run through your mind? What are the underlying beliefs that fuel these thoughts? Imagine you're sitting by a river, watching the water flow by. You don't try to stop the water or change its direction or judge it. You simply observe it. You notice the ripples, the eddies, the reflections. You become aware of the flow without getting caught up in it. This is the same attitude we need to cultivate towards our thoughts. We need to observe them without judgment, without getting carried away by them. Writing them down is crucial. There's a power in putting pen to paper, in bringing these thoughts out of the shadowy realm of the subconscious and into the light of conscious awareness. When you see them written down, they often lose some of their power. They become less intimidating, less overwhelming. It's like taking a monster that's been lurking in the shadows and bringing it out into the sunlight. When you see it clearly, you realize it's not as scary as you thought it was. It might be ugly, it might be distorted, but it's not as powerful as it seemed when it was hidden in the darkness. For example, you might write down thoughts like, I'm not good enough. I'll never be successful. I'm going to fail. I'm unlovable. I'm not worthy of happiness. I'm a burden to others. I can't do it. It's too late for me to change. As you write them down, ask yourself, where did this thought come from? Is it based on fact or is it an assumption? Is it serving me or is it holding me back? What would it feel like to release this thought? Recognize that these thoughts are not you. They are simply thoughts. They are like clouds passing through the sky. They may be dark and stormy, but they are not the sky itself. You are the sky, the vast, unchanging awareness that holds all thoughts. And you have the power to choose which thoughts to focus on, which thoughts to believe, and which thoughts to let go. Once you've identified the lies, you have the power to rebuke them. Speak truth out loud. Counter each lie with a declaration of God's truth. For example, if the lie is, "I'm not good enough," your truth is, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image." Psalm 139:14. Feel the power of those words as you speak them. This step is about actively reclaiming your power. It's about consciously choosing to believe the truth instead of the lies. It's about replacing the negative programming with positive affirmations rooted in spiritual truth. The act of speaking truth out loud is incredibly powerful. It's not just about the words themselves, it's about the energy and intention behind them. When you speak truth with conviction, you are sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind, to your body, and to the universe. You are declaring your allegiance to truth, to love, to light. It's like tuning a musical instrument. If the instrument is out of tune, it will produce dissonant sounds. But when you tune it to the correct frequency, it will produce beautiful, harmonious music. Similarly, when you speak truth, you are tuning your mind to the frequency of God's love and grace. You are aligning yourself with the divine harmony of the universe. For each lie you identified in step 1, find a corresponding truth to counter. Here are some examples. Lie, "I'm not good enough." Truth, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image. I am worthy of love and belonging just as I am." Lie, "I'll never be successful." Truth, "I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to." God has given me unique talents and abilities, and I will use them to fulfill my purpose. Lie, "I'm going to fail." Truth, "Every setback is an opportunity for growth. I learn from my mistakes and I keep moving forward." Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone. Lie, "I'm unlovable." Truth, "I am loved unconditionally by God. I am worthy of love and connection. I attract loving and supportive people into my life." Lie, "I'm not worthy of happiness." Truth, "I deserve to be happy. I am created for joy and fulfillment. I embrace the abundance of life." Lie, "I am a burden." Truth, "My presence is a gift. The right people see the beauty and blessing I bring to the world." Lie, "I can't do it." Truth, "With God all things are possible. I draw on divine strength to overcome any challenge I encounter." Lie, "It's too late." Truth, "It's never too late to begin anew. Every day is a fresh start." Don't just read these truths, speak them. Say them out loud with feeling, with conviction. Repeat them throughout the day, especially when you feel the negative thoughts creeping in. You can also write them on sticky notes and place them around your home or office as reminders. Imagine these truths as seeds that you are planting in the garden of your mind. With consistent watering and nurturing, they will grow and blossom, eventually overshadowing the weeds of negativity. This is where most people stumble. We cling to control, to our own understanding, even when it's causing us pain. True peace comes from surrender, from saying, "God, I don't understand this, but I trust you. I release my need to control the outcome, and I trust that you are working all things together for my good." Romans 8:28. Surrender is often misunderstood as weakness, as giving up. But it's actually the opposite. It's an act of profound strength and faith. It's recognizing that we are not in control of everything, and that's okay. It's letting go of the illusion of control and trusting in a higher power, a greater intelligence, a divine plan that is unfolding for our highest good. Think of it like a river flowing to the sea. The river doesn't try to control its course, it simply flows, following the path of least resistance. It encounters obstacles, rocks, bends, waterfalls, but it doesn't fight them. It flows around them, over them, through them. It trusts that it will eventually reach its destination. We are like that river. We have a destination, a purpose, a divine plan. But we often try to force our way, to control the flow, to resist the natural course of events. This creates struggle, tension, and anxiety. Surrender is about letting go of the oars and trusting that the current will carry us where we need to go. It's about saying, God, I don't understand this situation. I don't know why this is happening, but I trust that you have a plan, and I trust that it is for my highest good. I release my need to control the outcome. I surrender to your will. This doesn't mean we become passive or apathetic. It means we act from a place of trust, not fear. We take inspired action, guided by our intuition and inner wisdom, but we don't cling to the results. We do our best, and we leave the rest to God. This can be especially challenging when we're facing difficult situations, when we're experiencing pain, loss, or uncertainty. But it's precisely in these moments that surrender is most crucial. It's in these moments that we learn to trust in something bigger than ourselves, something that transcends our limited understanding. Imagine you're holding a heavy weight in your arms. You're struggling to carry it, your muscles are aching, and you're exhausted. You can keep trying to hold on to it, but eventually you'll collapse under the strain. Or you can choose to put it down, to release the burden, and to rest. Surrender is like putting down that weight. It's releasing the burden of control, the need to have all the answers, the need to be in charge. It's trusting that God can carry the weight for you, that He can handle the situation, that He will guide you through it. Practice surrender in small ways. When you feel yourself getting anxious or stressed, take a deep breath and say, I release control. I trust in God's plan. Let go of the need to know all the answers, the need to have everything figured out. Embrace the uncertainty, knowing that it is in the unknown that the greatest possibilities lie. When you surrender, you create space for God's peace to flood in. This isn't a passive waiting game. It's an active receiving. Breathe deeply. Visualize the storm calming within you. Feel the tension release. Know that God's presence is with you, bringing stillness and strength. This step is about actively cultivating a state of inner peace. It's about creating a sanctuary within yourself, a place where you can connect with the stillness and strength that is always available to you. Receiving peace is not a passive process. It requires intention and practice. It's like tuning a radio to the right frequency. We need to quiet the static of our minds and tune into the frequency of peace, which is always broadcasting. Here are some ways to actively receive peace. Breathe deeply. Conscious breathing is one of the most powerful tools for calming the nervous system and bringing us into the present moment. Take slow, deep breaths, inhaling peace and exhaling tension. Visualize, close your eyes and imagine yourself in a peaceful place. A beach, a forest, a mountaintop. See the calm, serene surroundings. Feel the gentle breeze, the warm sun. Allow yourself to be fully immersed in this peaceful imagery. Meditate. Meditation is a practice of quieting the mind and connecting with our inner being. There are many different types of meditation, but the core principle is to focus on the present moment, letting go of thoughts and distractions. Pray. Prayer is a conversation with God, a way of connecting with the divine source of peace and strength. Speak from your heart, expressing your gratitude, your needs, your desires. Spend time in nature. Nature has a powerful calming effect on the mind and body. Go for a walk in the park, sit under a tree, listen to the birds sing. Connect with the natural world and allow its peace to permeate your being. Practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. It opens our hearts and allows us to appreciate the blessings in our lives. Make a list of things you're grateful for and feel the gratitude expand within you. Listen to calming music. Music can powerfully impact emotions. Find peaceful, inspiring, or worship music that calms your inner spirit. As you practice these techniques, you will begin to experience a deeper sense of peace, a calmness that transcends the outer circumstances of your life. This peace is not the absence of problems. It's the presence of God. It's the knowing that you are held, supported, and loved no matter what. Clarity comes when the storm subsides. With a clear mind and a peaceful heart, you can hear God's guidance. What is the one next step He's calling you to take? It might be small, it might be scary, but trust that He will equip you for it. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Step forward in faith now. Faith is not passive, it's active. It's not about sitting around and waiting for God to do everything for us. It's about stepping forward, even when we don't have all the answers, even when we're afraid. It's about taking action, guided by our intuition and inner wisdom, trusting that God will provide the resources and support we need along the way. When the storm of our inner turmoil subsides, we gain clarity. We can hear God's voice more clearly. We can see the path ahead more distinctly. But this clarity often comes with a challenge. The challenge to step outside our comfort zone, to take a risk, to do something that scares us. The one next step might be something small, like making a phone call, sending an email, having a difficult conversation, or it might be something bigger, like changing careers, starting a business, moving to a new city. Whatever it is, don't let fear hold you back. Don't wait for perfect conditions. There's no such thing. There will always be obstacles, challenges, and uncertainties. But if you wait for everything to be perfect, you'll be waiting forever. Step forward in faith, knowing that God is with you every step of the way. Trust that He will equip you for whatever you need to do. Trust that He will open doors, provide resources, and connect you with the right people. Remember the story of Peter walking on water. He stepped out of the boat in faith, and he was able to walk on water as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus. But when he started to doubt, when he focused on the wind and the waves, he began to sink. The same is true for us. When we keep our focus on God, when we trust in His power and guidance, we can do extraordinary things. But when we start to doubt, when we focus on our fears and limitations, we begin to sink. So, step forward in faith. Take that first step, and then the next, and the next. Don't worry about the entire journey. Just focus on the step that's right in front of you, and trust that God will lead you to your destination. It is like starting a journey, but you don't have to carry all your belongings. You just walk forward, and someone will provide all you need. It is an adventure that requires trust, and you will discover amazing landscapes as long as you trust. Chosen one, here is the truth. Your mental battles are ending. The clarity, confidence, and strength you've been seeking are already within you, placed there by God. The key that unlocks it all is consistent communion with Him. It's not just about praying when you're in crisis. It's about building a relationship with God, a daily conversation, a constant awareness of His presence. It's about reading His Word, meditating on His promises, and allowing Him to transform your mind from the inside out. Romans 12:2. That is where the lasting peace is found. That is where the inner storm is truly silenced. That is where you step into your full power. This is the core message, the ultimate revelation, the key to lasting peace, to true transformation is not a technique, a strategy, or a formula. It's a relationship. It's a deep, intimate, consistent communion with God. Many people treat God like a vending machine. They only go to Him when they need something. They insert a prayer, press a button, and expect to receive their desired outcome. But that's not how a relationship works. A relationship is built on consistent communication, on spending time together, on sharing our hearts, on listening to each other. It's about developing a deep connection, a mutual understanding, a loving bond. The same is true of our relationship with God. It's not enough to just pray when we're in crisis. We need to cultivate a daily practice of connecting with Him, of seeking His presence, of listening to His voice. This can take many forms. Daily prayer, not just asking for things, but also expressing gratitude, praising Him, and simply talking to Him as you would a friend. Reading the Bible. The Bible is God's Word, His love letter to humanity. It's filled with wisdom, guidance, and inspiration. Meditation, quieting the mind and connecting with the divine presence within. Worship, expressing our love and adoration for God through music, song, or other forms of creative expression. Service, serving others is a way of serving God. It's a way of putting our faith into action. Journaling, writing down our thoughts, feelings, and prayers can help us process our experiences and connect with our inner wisdom. Spending time in nature. Connecting with the natural world is a way of connecting with the Creator. The key is consistency. It's not about doing all of these things all the time. It's about finding what works for you and making it a regular part of your life. It's about creating a rhythm, a routine, a habit of connecting with God. Building that relationship is like building a friendship. You do not just call a friend when you are in need, but you call them, meet them, and share memories. This is how your relationship with God grows. As you cultivate this consistent communion, you will begin to experience a profound transformation. Your mind will be renewed, your heart will be healed, your spirit will be strengthened. You will find lasting peace, not just the absence of turmoil, but the presence of God's love and grace. You will step into your full power, not the power of ego, but the power of the divine spirit within you. You will become a beacon of light, a source of inspiration, a channel of God's love in the world. This is the ultimate journey, the greatest adventure. It's the journey of discovering who you truly are, of connecting with your divine purpose, of living a life of meaning, joy, and fulfillment. And it all begins with a simple choice. The choice to cultivate a consistent communion with God. Tonight, before you sleep, say this prayer. Father, I release all fear and anxiety. I surrender my mental battles to you. I receive your peace, your clarity, your strength. I commit to walking with you daily, to seeking your guidance, and to trusting in your perfect plan. I know that my breakthrough is here. I am ready to receive it. Amen. Now, don't leave without being part of this movement. Comment below with one thing you need prayer for, and reply to someone else's comment to lift them up. The power of collective faith is real, and miracles happen when we come together. And if this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Someone you know is battling their own inner storm right now. Share this video with them and subscribe, because this journey is just beginning, and I promise there is so much more ahead for you. God is moving. Are you ready to move with Him?